And welcome to another action on City TV from the Riverdome as we have the Arbor Huron River Rats hosting the Phoenix of Ypsilanti. And I'm joined, my name's Kevin Bryant, joined with Pete Poirier. Pete, this is going to be a great game. Welcome.
Well, the excitement level is high, Kevin, and the stadium is packed here at the Riverdome, and we are just about to get underway here. Teams have been introduced, and we are ready to tip it off.
Last 2 years, these two teams, they're probably the best teams in the area, Pete. I'm excited about this one.
Tip-off is controlled by Ypsi. Jeannot Joubert will bring it up the floor for the Phoenix. And here's an errant pass intercepted by Bugs. There's a quick shot by Kendall Thomas off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Ypsi.
Well, last year they had 24 turnovers. I know Coach Brooks and the Phoenix, they want to cut down on those free buckets for Huron.
Long cross quarter. Now trying to get the ball inside for an easy bucket, and Ypsi draws first blood. Levante Davis with the bucket for Ypsi.
Davis is that guy that's going to man the paint for the Phoenix tonight. Smaller team for the Rats.
Oh, working around Alan Thomas. Back to Bond, all the way around the rim. Back out to Alan Thomas. This senior leader, Mike Lewis, he drives the lane, scoop shot, off the backboard, and good.
So the guys that we knew were going to be stepping up, they're the first ones that are getting on the scoreboard for each team. Mike Lewis, he's the leader for the River Rats.
The long three-pointer is good for Ypsi. Tristan Simmons with the three-pointer for Ypsi.
You know, Simmons is that guy that he's going to give you 20 points night in and night out.
Oh, Rats settle it down. Trying to get into their offense. There's a quick entry pass, shot up, off the backboard, no good.
Good backdoor cut, though. A lot of excitement in the Riverdome tonight. Usually these teams meet later in the year.
Long three-pointer up, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Thomas. Now one by Bond, that one also off the rim. Now we have a foul down low. It's to be a blocking foul, or charging rather, on Ypsi, or rather Huron. And it'll be Ypsilanti basketball.
Offensive foul number 1, Andre Bond. That's his first for the team's first.
Really close there on that call. That's one of those bang-bang plays. And Bond's coming in. Oh, yeah. You don't see the circle up underneath like we saw in our previous game, but the ref had a good call there.
Well, now Ypsi working their offense. The three-pointer in the corner is up, and good. Xavier Higgins with the three-pointer. And Ypsi out to the early 8-2 lead.
A lot of shots coming from behind the arc already.
Now Lewis is stripped of the ball. Long entry pass down. It's going to be too far for Simmons. The turnover will be favor of River Rats.
Well, just what Steve Brooks wanted, Pete. He's getting the crowd out of the game by getting his team up to an early lead.
Yante Jackson brings it across the timeline. Gets it over to Bond. And while we're whistling a foul, Mamadou Ba a little aggressive on the defense. He'll pick up his foul.
The big center reaching. He's going to have to move his feet a little bit better like that.
Jackson over to Thomas in the corner. Jackson He trapped a little bit. Now he breaks free, drives the baseline, up and off the backboard, and good.
Alan Thomas with a real good backdoor cut there.
Kind of made his own space.
Yeah, and use the backboard real nice. You like to see that by a young guy. Put it up on the top of the box.
Entry pass down low, and another referee's whistle. Andre Bond picking up his second foul early here in the first quarter. 4:28 to play.
A little bit too aggressive. Came up underneath him.
And a quick shot by Ypsi is up and good. Levante Davis with the bucket.
You know, Davis was their leading scorer in their first game in that loss to U of D Jesuit.
Another Ypsi foul. Derek Richardson picking up the foul for Ypsi.
Pete, this is what you're telling me. You're saying that we'd see a lot of substitutions by these coaches, really using the depth of their bench to keep the defenses fresh.
I really haven't seen much of the vaunted River Rat press yet, mainly because they haven't made that many buckets to be able to set up a press. There's a floater in the lane off the back of the rim, no good, by Kendall Thomas. Rebounded by Higgins. Higgins gets it back, drives the baseline. It's blocked. And it'll stay Ypsi basketball.
Speaking with Coach Steve Brooks before the game, he mentioned their team speed, and you look at the Phoenix, it is just like the Roadrunner. Beep, beep, and they're gone.
Well, perhaps Coach Samaha will have to avail himself of the Acme catalog later on in the game.
And, you know, that TNT usually works.
There's intercepts. And Ypsi can't get, or Huron can't control.
There's that pressure.
Now finally they get it. And the defense collapsing in the lane. Strips the ball away. And the Phoenix will go back on offense. A trap in the corner.
You know, one of the things about the Phoenix is they're not just fast, they're long, and that's what's causing Huron troubles right now. They were trying to get the ball up court, and Ypsi with those long limbs are just tipping the passes and creating havoc right now for the River Rats.
Oh, back out the top of the key. Higgins with it. He'll settle it down. Now over to Tipton. Back to the other side of the court. And a foul before the shot.
And you're on ball number 20, Demetrius Sims. That's his second. Team's fourth.
Demetrius Sims picking up the foul.
And back into the Phoenix, number 2, Tristan Simmons.
I believe Sims' brother plays up at Michigan State. The big tight end that plays for Izzo as well on the basketball court.
Oh, FC will circle around. There's a long shot from the corner, and it's good. Derek Richardson for 3.
Well, that's the Phoenix third tray. You can't stop right there, son. Backcourt caught him.
And Kendall Thomas called for an over and back.
Number 33, Mike Lewis.
All of this pressure out here is causing some turnovers. Who's going to calm down and really get in their groove?
Oh, in the middle lane, up and good. Mamadou Ba with a turnaround jumper.
The Phoenix came to play tonight, folks.
Now Thomas to Lewis.
And they have to be,
Thomas.
they have to be extra, I'm sorry about that, Pete, extra motivated.
Long shot by Kendall Thomas, no good. Demetrius Sims can't handle the rebound. Shot back up, in and out, no good. And finally torn away by Ba. Now Ypsi driving the court on the fast break, up and good. Xavier Higgins with the bucket. And that's going to have a effect on the River Rat side as Walid Samaha is forced to call a timeout. Ypsilanti up 17-4.
Well, it looks like Coach Steve Brooks' Phoenix are giving Coach Samaha's River Rats a dose of his own medicine. These quick buckets and a big lead really taking the energy out of the building, Pete.
Well, you know what, Kevin? It seems like we talked before the game and that we were wondering how Ypsi would react to Huron's press, but it's really been a reverse. These teams have reversed roles. And it's been Ypsi with all the pressure and clogging the lanes and making turnovers and getting easy buckets.
Again, what we were talking before the game is Ypsi's only lost one senior from a team. On the flip side of that, the Huron River Rats lost a lot of players and a lot of minutes, losing their three-year starters off of their squad last year. So,
right, and 8 total seniors.
Wow, that's a lot of basketball that they're having to replace.
Huron back on offense. Kendall Thomas with the basketball out by the timeline.
Man, he has it on a string there. Whoa!
And a referee's whistle.
I believe that was a 5-second call. Usually they don't call that if you're driving inside the key, and they got him though that time.
Well, everything going the Phoenix's way. And there's a near steal by Bond. He's going to be called for reaching in.
That's really unfortunate. That'll be the 3rd foul on Bond, and he's probably going to have to rest the next to Coach Samaha for, wow. I'd be surprised to see him even in the second quarter tonight, Pete.
Well, and you must have been reading Coach Samaha's mind because he sits on the bench and Yonte Jackson comes into the game to replace him.
That's a big loss.
And for the Phoenix, number 3, Janelle Jobert.
There's a scoop and a drive and a big whistle before the shots. We had a traveling call.
And for Huron, number 35.
Kind of did one of those LeBron, cradle or crawl dribbles, whatever the young guys are calling it nowadays, that hop, stop, jump. Whatever it is, I know it's against the violation. It's a violation.
42,
Another turnover for Huron.
Well, the Phoenix are really, their defensive pressure is causing the Rats fits right now. They're going to have to calm down and play their River Rat style of basketball. It is their home opener, so there's a lot going on, a lot of people here in the gymnasium tonight.
Picked up off the floor by Davis, and he puts it in for another bucket for Ypsi. Long jumper by Alan Thomas. Off the rim, no good.
A little bit of a force there. He needs to calm down, get it inside, pass the ball around.
A long jumper for Ypsi. That's short by Tipton. And Lewis will get the rebound, and Huron will bring it up the floor.
Well, the final 30 seconds here, the Rats they really have to run a good play, a good set. Something they can build off of.
Now Lewis with the three-pointer off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Richardson. Now into the corner for the three. In and out, no good. Tipton going up for the rebound, and we have a referee's whistle.
Huron foul number 35, Grant Strickler.
Grant Strickler in the game for Huron. He picks up his foul.
Team 6, shouldn't they be shooting, or are they?
They're going to call that out of bounds.
They're going to be shooting on the next one, that's right. Only 10 seconds, guys. Got to hurry here.
Well, Tipton holding it. Under 5 seconds now. Now another three-pointer from the wing. In and out, no good. And that's going to be no good. Ypsi with the big 19-4 lead at the end of the first quarter. Hope you're enjoying all the action here on City TV Sports.
You know, some of the big players that stepped up is some of the guys that we expected, Pete, out of the first half, out of the first quarter for the Phoenix. You know, Levante Davis has been a beast so far, really, for the Phoenix. He's been tough outside, and also Mamadou Ba on those boards.
Well, and really the other surprising thing is seems like Huron's lost a bit of its composure.
I would agree with you on that, and it's to be expected. Again, first home game. A lot of these guys were either they were on the varsity team last year, but they didn't log a lot of meaningful minutes. This is where the young group is going to grow up. These coaches, both Coach Samaha and Coach Brooks, they schedule these type of games early to get these guys ready for the postseason.
Excellent point. You know what I've been noticing a lot about Ypsilanti's defense. Huron will bring it up the floor. And as soon as Huron passes off to a wing, that's where they start pressing. Press that guy right to the sideline. You use that sideline as an extra defender.
And that's a smart play there. And it's helped with Ypsilanti's length as well, too. I mean, Huron is not just getting frustrated, they're panicking.
Oh, both teams back out on the floor to start the second quarter.
The River Rats never really got anything going there, only scoring 4 points. They really got to get into their offense. And maybe it's that defense that'll set it up, but this is what they've been having.
Another steal by Ypsi. That basket is no good, but Richardson will draw the foul.
That's going to be the second foul on Thomas. He's their primary ball handler. They could ill afford to lose him to foul trouble as well, Pete.
Yeah, Kevin, it's 17 foul for Huron. This is shooting 2, and there'll be 1-1 for all fouls here on out up until 10. Then it'll be 2 shots. So it's, again, playing into the Phoenix's hands, the foul situation. Ypsi only has 2 fouls so far in this first half. Yeah, there's another steal by Ypsi.
There it is.
Kendall Jackson nearly stole it back, but he's going to be called for another foul.
Pete, maybe he didn't hear us. We just said they could ill afford to lose him to foul trouble, and what does he do on the very next possession? He reaches in. Big decision now for Coach Samaha. Does he leave him in the game?
First one is up and good. Next one on the way is also in.
This game isn't like the last 2 years' games going back and forth. It's one-sided.
And Lewis gets the pass and drives the lane and gets the bucket for Huron. Just prior to that, he set up a pick to try and get that defender off the ball carrier. And Yante Jackson stepped on the out-of-bounds line after making a nice steal. Kind of been the story of the night so far for Huron.
Almost.
Good going.
Also in for number 20, Demetrius Sims.
Well, pass back out to Richardson. Long shot, no good. Mike Lewis is going to be called for the foul for Huron.
That's always a tough call when you're both going up for the ball, and you would feel that the River Rat, Mike Lewis being on the inside would get it, but the length of Ypsilanti's Mamadou Ba is he just gets up there.
Well, Oh, Ba will head to the line, shooting the 1-and-1. First one is on the way and is in. Ba's next one is through. Well, it looks like the River Rats are getting a taste of their own medicine tonight with this Ypsilanti press.
And you know what they need to do is not try to get it all back in one possession. Let's just take this one possession at a time and make it each possession a positive possession.
Got to tighten up that ball handling. It's been a little sloppy.
Got to get the ball out of his hands. You want your guards out there. And see, this is what they miss when Thomas gets out of the game.
Another steal for Ypsi. Ball on the floor. Referee's going to call it Huron basketball.
I believe Simmons was laying on the end line there. Well, Ypsilanti has not been nice to the Ann Arbor teams this year. They dropped 32, a 32-point victory last week to the Pioneers, and this one might get worse.
Well, another turnover for Huron as Jackson driving the lane called for the travel.
It's never a good night when you have more turnovers than points, and it's the second quarter.
Ypsi quickly back down floor. Gets it into Ba. Ba with a shot. Off the back of the rim, no good. He gets his own rebound back, puts it back up, no good. Gets his own rebound back again. Another shot up, no good.
Mamadou Ba playing a little Moses Malone style, getting a pad in the stats. Throw it up there, get it back, throw it up there, get it back.
Tipton finally trying to corral that ball, and he was fouled. And now Ypsi in the double bonus. 2 shots the rest of the way in this quarter. There is 6:05 left to go in the half.
Well, if Coach Zamaha wanted adversity early to grow his young Rats up, he has it. 3 players with 3 fouls in the first half and 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Now back in for the River Rats, number 3, Kendall Thomas.
Thomas has to be careful not to pick up that 4th foul. But you saw, Pete, how the ball handling became an issue when he was on the bench.
First one was good. Next one on the way off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Ba. And knocked off his hands, out of bounds by a Huron player. So it will remain Phoenix possession.
Alan Thomas surprised him from the rear that time. I think that's the only way you're going to get Big Ba's ball rejected. Flip pass corralled by Ba. Nearly a YouTube moment there.
Now Ba with it again. He takes the jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound by Dimitri Sims. Long shot. Misses everything by Ernest Johnson. And out of bounds, and it'll be Phoenix ball.
Boy, the River Rats, they get the ball on their offensive end, and it seems like they panicked to shoot up that 3-pointer. They had numbers down here. They really could have worked the ball and maybe tried to get a lot better look.
I agree with you, Kevin. It just seems to me that their game plan just doesn't see. They can't seem to get their game plan into place. You know, they can't run their set offense, as you said earlier. There's a rainbow jumper, good. Tristan Simmons with the bucket.
When it's going good, it really is going good, huh?
Now spin in the lane by Jackson, or Thomas rather. And a referee's whistle. Mamadou Ba picks up the foul. And that's only Ypsilanti's 3rd foul of the game.
Again, everything is going the Phoenix way, and as Thomas goes to the lane here, he's spinning and he gets up, but right there on the wrist, on the double clutch, he gets fouled. Thomas is the leader so far, but they haven't been able to get the ball down low and work it into Mike Lewis. He's the guy that's been leading them in scoring, not just their first game, but a lot of games last year.
Got a make and a miss by Thomas. And pressure, and Huron gets the turnover. Thomas driving the lane, and he's hacked on the way up. He'll draw the foul. Looked like Simmons picked up that foul. Second, that Jobert.
Well, again, Thomas, he's the guy that so far has been the only aggressive player for the Rats, and he's doing it with 3 fouls out there. On a play like that, though, a lot of coaches want you to spread it out and make that defender choose which side to go to. Fortunately for him, he did get a foul out of it.
First free throw is good by Thomas. Thomas's next one is pure. Now Huron starting to set up a bit of a press, a little 3-quarter. Ypsilanti able to break it rather easily. There's a shot up, no good. That one's corralled by Alan Thomas. A shot up by Huron, no good. Rebounded by Simmons. And just like that, Ypsi back down the floor. Near intercept by Thomas. Now a 3-pointer put up. Off the rim, no good. Rebound fought for, and they're going to call it Huron basketball.
Ypsi can afford to throw up shots, but, you know, from every angle, because they have the rebounding advantage. Huron's out there with 3 guards and a smaller forward and a center, while the Phoenix, they have collegiate size, really.
And a 19-point lead.
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt at all. 4:24 left in the second quarter. Hope you're enjoying all the action on City TV Sports. I'm Pete Poyer along with Kevin Bryant, bringing you all the action.
Also want to thank WTK for covering the game live this evening. All across Washtenaw County. Again, that's WTK Radio 1050.
Only with 9 points. You know, Huron only scored 37 points in their first game against Douglas. It seems like Coach Samaha is going to have to work on the offensive end. He's known for the defense, but if they can't hit those buckets, that vaunted defense is not going to have an opportunity to set up, Pete.
They're going to have a new game plan, Kevin, to get something more structured, more crisp passing-wise set up on the offensive end to create some more easy buckets, because their ball handling has been real sloppy tonight. And they're going to have to be a lot better passing the ball in the offensive lane, because, as you said earlier, Ypsi with its length, it's easier for them to clog lanes because they're longer. Not only height-wise, but their arms are longer. It's easier for them to play that kind of defense. So they got to really be on the ball when they play offense, and that's really spelled the difference in this game. Got to give credit to Ypsi's defense. They played some great defense, pressure defense, especially on the wings. That's where they're forcing a lot of their turnovers. Now Lewis gets it down the lane. Scoop shot off the rim, no good.
Again, he rushed it.
By Davis. That's a good shot. Lewis just did not finish.
Yeah, he just didn't finish.
There's an intercept by Lewis. A nice pass to Yante Jackson. It's an offensive foul, no bucket.
No, I think that actually was a foul on the Phoenix, and they are going to count that bucket.
Jackson's initial reaction was one of disgust.
And
nice no-looker by Lewis.
Senior Thomas had to come over and calm him down, but yeah, good play there by the Rats.
Well, really, Jobert had his back to the player, so I don't see how that would have been offensive foul. Now a traveling call. And it'll be Huron basketball. Maybe they're going to start getting something going here.
Well, like we were just talking about, Pete, let's not look up at the scoreboard and try to do it all at once, not shooting up these 3-pointers. Chip away at the lead. You're at home. Once you get the crowd into the game, it's going to be some pressure going on the other end.
Now nice pass inside. And Marcus Buggs with the bucket. That cuts Ypsi's lead to 14. And a long pass, that's going to be too far. And another Ypsilanti turnover. As you can hear behind me, Kevin, the crowd is starting to get into it.
A little bit of momentum shifting. And momentum is a tricky creature. It can come in and snap any type of lead out of a game.
And a real smart timeout here by Ypsi coach Steve Brooks. You could sense the momentum changing. Ypsi got a little sloppy with that long pass. Let's call timeout. Let's not give Huron a chance to come down and get another easy bucket. Let's set something up defensively.
You guys still have a 14-point lead. Let's not let Huron, who hasn't been playing well in the first half, sneak up, get on a good run, and close in and feel good going into the halftime.
There's 3:30 to go in the second quarter. If Huron can get it under 10, if they can get it to like 9 points, they'll feel pretty good going to the second half.
Oh, they feel great about getting it down to either single digits or right at that 10-point mark.
2012
And I'm sure the crowd wouldn't mind either. This is one of the loudest gyms. If they can get going, you'll hear it.
Oh, Thomas brings it up the floor to Lewis. Lewis looking to drive the lane. And he's fouled before he passes it off. Simmons will be called for the shove.
Lewis, to be a big, he can put the ball on the deck pretty well.
Now inbound to Thomas. Thomas being hounded by Richardson. Richardson getting called for the foul. Now fouls are starting to even out. That's Ypsi's 7th team foul.
And this is the way Coach Samaha loves to set up his press off of made buckets. And when you get to the foul line, it's a free throw. Put it through. Right. You set up your defense, and that's when you can really turn up the momentum.
Oh, Thomas will shoot the 1-and-1. First one is up and good.
Tell you, Thomas, Pete, he has that ball on a yo-yo string. Love the way he's changing direction with it. He's really causing fits up on the top side for the Phoenix.
Next one is in and out, no good. Huron sets up the press. Richardson breaks it, getting over the timeline, and we have another referee's whistle. And it'll be Mike Lewis is going to be called for the foul.
Mike Lewis, that's his second.
No, Richardson will head to the line, shooting 2.
So 2
shots now. They're in the double bonus.
First one is up and good.
Now over here on number 5, Cameron Haywood, and number 20, Demetrius Sims.
Next one is on the way, and it's good. Oh, Ypsi's going to set up a press of their own. Inbounded to Jackson. Trying to get Lewis to set that screen. He does. Allows Jackson to get over the timeline. They'll back it out. Now into the corner. Long three-pointer is off the rim, no good.
One Thomas to another Thomas to Cousins.
Now see ball on the floor. Picked up by Higgins.
I hope that's not on Thomas.
Referee pointed right at him.
That Huron foul on number 22, Alan Thomas is first.
That's going to be on Alan Thomas.
Number 1,
Kendall Thomas breaking catching a little bit of a break there as he was the one on the floor.
Well, you saw his expression, Pete. He was like, oh, no, not me.
His first free throw is off the rim, no good. Next one is up and good. Oh, Alan Jackson brings it up the floor for Huron. Swing it around the perimeter. Back to Alan Jackson at top of the key. Lewis tries to set a screen. There's a shot by Jackson. Is up and good.
Boy, Thomas is just an explosive player when he goes to the hole.
Well, Kendall Thomas with the bucket.
I don't know how he saw the rim on that last drive. He just lifted it up to the rafters. I mean, well, here we go. We take a look at it. Look at that arc on the ball. It even leaves our pitcher for a moment. Touch the sky, young man.
Well, Ypsilanti will inbound. Near steal. Cross quarter into the middle. And an easy bucket for Levante Davis.
Levante Davis.
Nice job by Ypsi getting everybody out of position there. Davis with the easy layup.
Yeah, they've been living off the foul line. They finally get a field goal.
There's a three-pointer. Off the front of the rim, no good. Simmons rebounds.
Huron is one and done on the offensive end. No putbacks.
Circus shot, no good. Looks like Davis is going to pick up that foul.
Number 33, Levante Davis, his first team's 8th. Huron's in the 1-1.
Lewis will head to the line for the 1-1.
Then we're on number 2, Dante Jackson.
Put these two in, and the River Rats are getting closer and closer to that 10 points that you were talking about, Pete, as far as going into the halftime. Only 90 seconds left until then.
Oh, first one is up and good. The second one on the way, and he hits it.
There you go. You get the trap right there, guys.
Drive on the baseline, no good. Rebounded by Lewis.
What a versatile player.
Lewis drives to the hole, and it's good.
There's 12 points. The River Rats are coming back.
Now Higgins drives the baseline, right off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Huron. Huron on the run. Set up for the three-pointer. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Lewis. One of their few offensive rebounds this game. Another shot is blocked. Blocked by Davis, but intercepted by Lewis. Lewis with the three-pointer. Off the rim, no good. A turnaround shot off the side of the backboard, no good. Huron still with it. Long three-pointer. Off the rim, no good.
25 seconds left in the half, and Huron needed that, and the crowd would have went crazy.
They had any one of those three-pointers, it would have been the game. Another intercept by Lewis.
Mr.
Drive in
Lewis.
the lane, Mike Lewis, up and off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Davis. Long shot, good.
And that takes us to halftime.
Tempo really picking up as we headed to halftime.
21.
And Kevin, you got leading scorers?
Yeah, well, for the River Rats, Mike Lewis, you saw him at the end right there. He has 8 points, and he's followed by Kendall Thomas with 4 points. But you know, it started off with a three-point barrage from the Phoenix, and right now, those guys, they were putting it in, and then it came down to getting buckets inside, and then they did have some foul shots that went in their favor. So still adding up all these foul shots, actually. So we'll have a total for you for the Phoenix in just a moment.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break and come back with second half action right here on City TV Sports.
PEG TV. Public, education, and government television programs reflect the specific interests and diversity of local communities. You've probably watched it without really knowing what it is or how it benefits you directly. Each community has its own personality, its own style, its own priorities, its own obstacles and needs. And one thing each community has in common is not just the need for its own voice, but access to the means to express it. PEG TV provides that. PEG TV channels are non-commercial and combined nationally deliver more original, locally made shows than all commercial television stations combined. PEG TV delivers entertaining, informational programs for everyone: seniors, youth, parents, educators, consumers, and in some areas delivers multilingual programming for ethnic communities. PEG TV also provides vital election coverage, public safety, and emergency information specific to where you live. Standard programming often includes council and commission meetings, public service announcements, and informational bulletin boards. Special interest programming often includes local festivals, parades, concerts, talk shows, magazine-style shows, and other programs unique to your village, your township, your city, and your neighborhood, which are often overlooked by commercial media programming. In many communities, PEG TV provides the only coverage of local government. Without PEG, it can be difficult for citizens to stay informed about local government issues and events. Your community has a voice, and that voice is speaking to your subdivision, your streets, your senior citizens, your property, and your family's safety, and it's speaking to you. Please learn more about this valuable resource. Tune in to your local PEG channels, then give the following websites a visit. Remember, we are your voice. PEG TV, public education and government television. Your voice, your community, your PEG.
Be a part of creating television for your community. Come on into the Community Television Network, CTN, where we offer free services like production training, facilities, and airtime to Ann Arbor residents and nonprofit groups. CTN, where Ann Arbor is on TV.
And welcome back for second half action right here on City TV Sports. Kevin Bryant, do you have the scoring recap for both teams?
Well, it was tough for the Phoenix. It looked like everybody was getting in on the action here. They were led actually by Levante Davis with 8 points. Richardson pushed in 7, as well as Higgins with 7. And the guy that we were expecting to be leading them in scoring, Simmons, he put in 5. So they really spread the ball around.
And they come out of the locker room with a 12-point lead, 33-21. They will begin the second half with the basketball.
You know, the River Rats, they ended up that second quarter, really played well. River Rat style of basketball, stayed out of foul trouble. Let's see if they can continue that here in the early third quarter.
And here they trap and get the steal, picked up by Lewis. Lewis off to a wing for the 3, and it's good. Kendall Thomas with the three-pointer and a quick steal, and another Huron basket.
Uh-oh, come on, Thomas. You can't get that greedy, baby. They're showing 20. They're showing 24, so it looks like. So I think the officials might be checking the score right now, because look at Thomas. He comes in and that definitely goes into the bucket there. Nice scoop shot. Comes out with 5 points in the first 28 seconds.
And now they put it on the scoreboard. Oh, 7-point lead for Ypsi.
Ball game, folks.
In and out, no good.
Well, this crowd is going to get back to their seats, Pete, and they're going to think, looking up at the scoreboard, what happened?
Well, really what you expected. You expected a close, hard-fought game. Really surprised to see Ypsi come out to that big lead. Looks like the River Rats have got their feet under them and are starting to play more River Rat basketball. Great job by Kendall Jackson to get it started with 5 points in a matter of seconds.
He is going to have to be careful because he has 4 fouls.
Another steal by Jackson. Alan Thomas with the shot rejected. Picked up off the floor by Higgins. Higgins down the lane. Shot up and in, and it'll count.
Will they count that bucket, Pete?
Offensive foul.
They're calling offensive foul, no bucket.
Number 1, Xavier Higgins. That's his first team.
The referee nearest us was calling a continuation. The referee on the other side of the floor called an offensive foul.
You know, I like that because if it's a foul, you shouldn't grant the player a bucket.
Oh, shot up by Huron. That's going to be short. Off the front of the rim. Rebound by Davis. Now Richardson with the drive. His shot is no good. Now take a look at that offensive foul on the replay.
Yeah, the Huron player was not set. He had his bugs, and the senior guard he's got to get in there and make a firm stance on the defensive side. He might have gotten that call.
If he had stopped his feet, he had stopped his feet for a millisecond before the contact. So he had just slid in front of that player.
Number 11, Marcus Bugs. That's his first, team second.
Looks like Coach Samaha did a good political job there with the official. That foul was called first on Lewis.
Yeah, first free throw by Richardson is good. First one rolls off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Bugs. Now Jackson with a three-pointer, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Davis.
Thomas. You know, he keeps shooting in those, he keeps putting it behind the arc, Pete. One of those, it must be his shot because he continually takes those shots behind the arc. Just haven't been able to drop yet for him.
Well, the last couple of Alan Thomas's threes have been a little flat. Needs a little bit more arc on those balls. And there's a shot by Davis. Let's check that. That's Mamadou Ba with the basket. Now spin move by Thomas.
Just can't battle height.
Yeah, corralled by Davis. Now jump shot by Simmons off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Bugs. Thomas with the long three-pointer. Off the front of the rim, no good. And Mike Lewis will corral it for the offensive rebound. He'll drive the lane, puts a shot up and in. And that'll count. And one for Mike Lewis. He'll head to the line to try and complete the three-point play.
I'd really like to see the Rats get Mike Lewis more involved. He's having to go grab his own rebound or rebound from another player just to get a shot off.
Lewis at the line, shoot the bonus.
Huron crowd even into it now.
Well, Lewis hits the free throw, and we have a 7-point game once again.
That's where you want to trap him.
Yeah, fight for it on the floor. Jump ball. Possession error in favor of the River Rats. They get possession. Nice work by the River Rats on the defensive side.
Well, the Phoenix player, once he crossed over half court, he had his head down. He didn't know where his teammates were, and he had his he fell actually almost towards the baseline there, or to the sideline.
Well, Thomas brings it up the floor. Bounce pass into Jackson. Shot up. 2 players down on the floor.
That Phoenix foul on number 33, Levante
Davis will pick up a foul, his second.
At the line, shooting 2.
Deontay Jackson will head to the line.
It's a good backdoor cut there. I think that's a bit of a byproduct of Thomas driving really hard. He created a lot of eyeballs on him, and he found an open man.
Jackson's first free throw is good.
Into the game for Ypsilanti, number 22, Marcus Palmer.
Don't look now, Kevin, but if Jackson hits his second free throw, we have a 5-point game.
And, you know, it's all been created off of the defensive pressure that the Rats have been able to employ.
And Jackson hits it. Timeout on the floor. We'll check that. Went for substitutions. Huron in the press. Full court.
You know, it was a 19-point lead in the first half for the Phoenix. Where did it go?
Now lost control of the ball. Picked up off the floor by Buggs. Buggs gets it to Thomas. Now Lewis steps back for the jumper. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Simmons. And shot up and in by Mamadou Ba.
21, Moba.
Oh, Bond back in the game. Lewis gets it, drives the lane, passes off to Buggs. Buggs' shot is blocked. Out of bounds. It'll remain River Rat basketball.
No matter how many times you say it, he's left-handed. He's going to go left hand. You know it, but you can't stop it. Mike Lewis is really good. He's a gifted ball handler as well as a nice touch on his shot.
Well, I played a little ball in my day, and I'm left-handed, and I couldn't go right. I couldn't figure it out how to go right. I could only go left.
It's just that as a defender, it's just awkward coming at you as well.
Here's a three-pointer by Lewis. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Richardson. Now Bob with it. He passes off down low. That shot is blocked. Nice job by Lewis. Lewis is everywhere in the court right now. Now Bond into the middle. And his pass is off the hands of Alan Thomas and out of bounds.
Bond got those early fouls, and he just really hasn't. You look at him, he hasn't even gotten a sweat going yet. So he's going to have to, work his way into the ball game. They're really going to count on him here, count on him in the second half.
Well, ball will remain in possession of the River Rats. As a jumper by Thomas, no good. Rebounded by Ipsy. Now Ba loses the handle.
Good poke on the floor,
ball
guys, on the floor.
Another jump ball.
That's one of those drills coaches love to do in the preseason. Throw the ball on the floor, see who's going to be aggressive and get down there for their team. No guts, no glory.
Diving for the ball on the floor is indication of effort.
Gotta
Coaches
like
love to see effort. There's a quick three-pointer, up and in. Tristan Simmons with the three-pointer. And the lead for Ipsy back out to 10. No Bond with it. Out to Thomas. His three-pointer is short.
He's kind of fading on that.
And a nice steal by Bond. Bond goes to the hole and puts it up and in.
Welcome to the dance, Mr. Bond.
Another three-pointer on the way by Simmons. Off the rim, no good. Picked up off the floor by Lewis. Lewis will take it. And it's knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. It'll stay here on basketball.
You know, on a play like that, your bench is right next to you. You would love to have them talking a little bit more, saying, watch your back, because the trailer from the Phoenix is the guy that poked it out of his hand.
Right.
Also, the Rats, number 3, Kendall Thomas.
3:16 to go here in the third quarter.
Seems like the Rats are hanging around, Pete, but they just can't get to a point where they're a possession away.
Right. A long pass corralled by Thomas. Tipped out of bounds by Ypsi.
Again, that's where that length of the Phoenix comes into play.
Deontay Jackson will inbound for Huron. Ba's going to be called for the over-the-back foul.
Ypsi foul number 21, Mo Ba. That's his third on the team's fourth.
Good play there by Lewis, using his body to shield him away as the pass came in. I'd like to see the River Rats try to get the ball back down into Lewis. Maybe you can pick up that fourth foul on him.
Oh, Lewis drives the baseline, puts a reverse layup. Off the rim, no good. Picked up off the floor by Ba. Now pushed up the floor. Scoop shot and circus and in. Marcus Palmer with the shot and score.
Sweet move there by Palmer. Double clutch reverse.
A long three-pointer is good by Kendall Thomas. Nothing but net for Kendall Thomas.
This second half has been all about Thomas.
And Huron trying to run the press. Mike Lewis getting a little aggressive.
Nasty fall there by Jackson. Good to see him pop right back up off the floor. I'm sorry, that was Simmons, wasn't it, on that?
Derek Richardson.
Now Usi breaks the press. Driving the lane is Tipton. And he's going to be called for the charge.
That's where you would love to see him do a jump stop and maybe pull up from 10 foot as opposed to trying to take it all the way to the rack.
The Huron player was camped out there for what seemed like days.
Yeah, he waved him into him. Come on, I'm waiting.
Now Thomas over the timeline. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis will put it on the floor, drive the lane.
Hey, he can go right.
Off the front of the rim, no good. And back down the floor. Palmer had it. Bond going for the steal. And he's going to pick up another foul.
You like the effort by Bond, but it just hasn't been his night.
Well, Bond will head out of the game with his fourth foul. Just 2:11 to go here in the third quarter.
Looked like they might have got bugs on a hold.
That is the call. And that puts Ypsi in the bonus. So every foul from here on out, they'll be shooting free throws the rest of the game.
And Ypsilanti has been pretty much on fire at the foul line. They haven't missed too many, so this cannot be good news for Coach Samaha and the River Rats.
Ba's going to head to the line for the 1-and-1.
A little bit of a discussion going on right now over at the scorer's table with the officials.
That last foul was on number 11, Marcus Boggs. That's his second. That's the 16th foul.
A correction, that's here on sixth foul.
Now with the River Rats, number 20, Demetrius Sims. Also in number 30.
Well, if you're the River Rats, you really just want to keep it this close. You don't want the Phoenix to really widen the lead going into the final period in this last 2:11. I guess the discussion was over the 6th or the 7th foul there, Pete.
I believe so. So instead, the ball will be inbounded underneath the basket. Into Palmer. Palmer with a shot, no good. Palmer gets his own rebound in the far corner. Now back out top. Richardson driving the lane.
Huron foul number 33, Mike Lewis. That's his 4th. Team's 7th.
Look at that replay.
Nice.
Shut up and good.
Nice strong move there, but unfortunately for the Rats, Lewis picks up his 4th foul before the 4th quarter. They have some guys in foul trouble.
And can't complete the three-point play. Rebounded by Lewis. Lewis will get it over to Deontay Jackson. Jackson with a spin move. Dish off to Thomas from the corner for 3. And Kendall Thomas with the 3.
That's his 3rd 3 of the second half.
All from that far corner.
Yeah, he really likes it over there.
Now here's Ipsy with the 3 ball, and it's good. Tristan Simmons with the 3-pointer. And just like that, Ipsy answers back. Now another 3-pointer by Thomas, and it's off the backboard and good.
I think I heard him call glass.
Number 3, Kendall Thomas.
Now a pass is deflected. Picked up off the floor by Jackson. And the pass to Alan Thomas. He's shoved out of bounds. And he draws the foul.
Boy, this is second half. It's just been the Kendall Thomas show. And like you're saying, it's all behind the far arc from us, right in front of his own bench, but he's really brought the Rats back single-handedly here with those 3-point shooting barrage.
Palmer picks up the foul for Ipsy.
Also back in for Ypsilanti, number 21.
One more for Ipsy will put Huron in the bonus.
You know, Thomas has been out there a lot. He's got a lot of fouls, yet he still has a good spring and jump off of his jumper. I know it's early in the season, though, Pete.
Still got those young, fresh legs, Kevin.
Well, these guys have a game tomorrow night, so that'll really test those legs.
There's another 3-pointer. Off the back of the rim, no good.
Heat check shot there.
Errant pass through the hands of Tipton and out of bounds. And they'll go back to Huron. 35.6 to play here in the third. Ypsilanti up 48-42 after having a 19-point lead early in the first half.
You know, it'd probably be smart here for Coach Samahata just to dial up the single last play of the half, and you make it, or if you don't, you're still only going to be 2 possessions down if you don't make it.
Yeah, be patient, run your offense.
And find Thomas.
In the corner. Now drive by Jackson, high off the glass, no good.
You know, Alan Thomas has put up a lot of shots, but he is having a tough time finding the bottom of the net. He's going to get law of averages got to catch up with him, right, Pete?
You would think eventually. Davis stepped out of bounds, so it'll stay here on basketball. 10.3 to go.
Into the Phoenix, number 1, Xavier Higgins.
And maybe they should listen to us. Dial a play up for Mr. Thomas behind the far arc. Get a good screen for him. Let him get a good open shot. He doesn't need much space.
They're looking to go to Lewis. Now Lewis inside to Jackson. His shot is blocked. Out of bounds here on basketball, and at 3.2 seconds to play.
Let's see who wants the ball. This is where you find out who your real player is. I got to have the ball this last shot.
And now a long 3-pointer. Doesn't hit anything from Deontay Jackson. And that'll do it for the third quarter. But Huron clawing its way back into the game. At the end of 3, it's Ypsilanti 48, Huron 42, right here on City TV Sports.
Well, I tell you, Kendall Thomas there with 4 3-pointers. I mean, and if they can maybe give him a little bit of a break, he might not need it because adrenaline early in the season. He really wants this game, your home opener. he does have some help out there with Mike Lewis, but he's just been on fire.
He's been the catalyst for the River Rats in their comeback. But really, Kevin, Huron's going to have to get more players involved in scoring besides just Thomas and Lewis. You know, those guys are doing a great job keeping them in the game, but they're going to have to get more scoring. And obviously, Alan Thomas has been trying, but he really hasn't been converting. So it's either got to be him or somebody else has got to help out getting the scoring. That's going to keep it from Huron hanging around to Huron tying or possibly going into the lead.
Well, coming off the bench the last 2 years, it's been Andre Bond has been that other scorer. Foul trouble's really taken him out of the game tonight. So who is it? Who's going to step up? One of the players that Huron has been in the second half has been Jackson. He's got 2 points. Maybe he'll be the surprise player that'll help out Lewis and Thomas.
Well, and Bond's going to come back in the game at some point. And perhaps he'll be the one to stay away from that fifth foul and make a difference in this game.
And everything will be forgiven and forgotten if he does step up in the fourth quarter.
Oh, Huron will start possession. Buggs looking to pass it. He gets it into Jackson. Jackson's still
Thomas
dribbling.
better get rid of the ball. 5-second call there.
And ball out of bounds off a member of the Phoenix. So it'll remain Huron basketball.
Again, Pete, after, trailing by 19 points, you really got to applaud the effort by the River Rats here. The Phoenix, on the other hand, you would think they would just slow it down and try to get it inside. They have the height advantage down low.
Thomas looking for the bounce pass. That doesn't connect. Turnover in favor of Ypsilanti.
Their diamond press there.
Nice deflection by Alan Thomas.
Oh, what a look away.
And Alan Thomas gets it back and puts it in. Oh, the old cliche stands. You make the defensive play at one end, you get the ball back at the offensive end. And nice job by Davis as he goes right back down the floor and puts it in for Ipsy.
That's Davis's first bucket of the second half. He was the leading scorer coming into halftime. The Phoenix need to have that type of scoring out of him.
And a floater by Kendall Thomas goes in.
Thomas has on number 3, folks. He looks like a little Allen Iverson out there.
Now Davis down low breaks the press and gets the easy bucket. And Kendall Thomas held that three-pointer up in the air. He had his arm out. Didn't fall.
Oh, good effort.
And on the floor.
Looked like Sims really went up, and now, tempers are flaring. That's what happens with games like this. I mean, Huron only were one of the 2 losses dealt by, absorbed by the Phoenix last year. So they really want this game, especially when they're coming across town and playing on their opponent's home floor. I mean, they need this game.
All right, ball on the floor. Things got a little chippy. Referee separated everybody. And both teams are getting talking to by their coaches.
When something like that happens, Pete, it really doesn't help either side. But sometimes momentum can shift from a play just like that.
Well, sometimes anger can be a great motivator.
It sure can. You can feed off of it. Doesn't look like Steve Brooks is too happy with his players. And that's what that Huron diamond press does. It really gets in the players' heads. It speeds them up. It makes them do things that they really are not comfortable doing. And this is where Coach Samaha's defense really shines. That's what he's really trying to point out to the guys. Step up, guys. We need to put this pressure on them. They might crack. I see a crack in the armor myself.
And conversely, about that anger, that can be used against you, too. It can make you sloppy. It can make you over-aggressive. You can pick up a lot of extra fouls that way.
And hopefully you don't go stomping on anybody's head.
Or leg or arm.
Yeah. Well, the officials are really taking their time in deciding if there's any technicals are going to be assessed at this, or everybody's going to stay on the floor?
Well, it looked like one of the referees called for a foul. I never saw a jump ball situation called by any of the referees.
And the ball looked like it was tied up on the floor there.
Yeah.
It was a real good effort there by Sims. He got into the passing lane and it really started what turned into be a unfortunate play by both guys, losing their cool.
Okay, we've sorted out. We have a foul on Huron's number 20, Demetrius Sims. That's his fourth personal. That's the team's 8.
The referees have decided to give Demetrius Sims a foul.
We also have a technical foul called on number 21, Mo Ba. That also is his fourth personal.
And Mamadou Ba will pick up a technical as a result. Here's the replay. Ball hits the floor. They're trying to tie the ball up. Ball comes loose. And by then, the referees have called a foul. And there's Bob being pushed out of the play.
Smart by the Phoenix teammates there. Get him out of there.
I didn't really see him do anything aggressive. Maybe it was something he said that the referees heard.
And that sometimes can ignite a player to go and lose his cool.
And that may have been precipitated a technical on Ba.
But you did see the foul committed there by Sims. He did dive on the Phoenix player that was laying on the ground there, so that was a correct call. I really think a big break like this helps out the team that's trailing. And in this instance, it's the River Rats, because Coach Samahai had a time to really give his shooter, Kendall Thomas, a timeout right there. We've had a break for about 3 minutes. Thomas is rejuvenating that shooting wrist.
I think he needs to get back in that far corner again, too. His last 2 threes have been more from the top of the key, and he hasn't hit them.
Every shot, though, out of his hands looks pretty. I mean, he has good form, good release. He's a pure jump shot shooter. He releases it at the top of his jump, and he's not a big guy, so he does have to raise up to get the shot off.
Thomas listed at 5'8". Ba at the line. In and out, no good.
And I wonder, was that the now this will be the technical that was called on Ba, and that first one was the foul on Sims.
Right. And Alan Thomas puts that in.
You know, really, this will really help Thomas's confidence out, just seeing the ball go right through the net.
And that first one is short.
So is that the proverbial jinx by the announcer?
That's all you, Kevin.
Thank you. Too bad the Thomas family knows where I live.
Oh, it'll be Huron basketball.
So out of all of that, Pete, Huron picked up 1 point.
And a nice break.
Yes, a really good deserved break, really, after all the
We have a referee's whistle. The Ypsilanti foul on Derek Richardson. That's going to send Kendall Thomas to the free throw line.
Shooting is number 3, Kendall Thomas.
Both teams in the bonus now. And it hit the first one.
Ba and Richardson with 4 fouls for the Phoenix. Looks like we're in for another classic Huron Ypsilanti close finish.
Next one on the way for Thomas. In and out, no good. And that bucket would have made it a one-possession game.
Oh.
You just kind of smell it, can't you, Kevin? It's going to come down to whoever has the ball last is going to win this game.
That's usually what you've seen in the last 2 years with these two teams. I mean, yeah, Huron had a 20-point win, but it was close, and they had just a big spurt last year to beat the Phoenix 73-53.
Teams tonight, Ypsilanti's in the 1-1. At the line shooting the little one is number 33, Levante Davis.
I think that might be all for Mr. Sims tonight.
That is his fifth.
And for Huron number 5, Cameron Haywood.
And Dimitri Sims fouls out of the game.
You know, the 6'2 junior really played well as far as his hustle. Maybe not on the score sheet, but he did give a good effort tonight.
He's replaced by Cameron Haywood. Free throw is off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Ypsi. Put back up, no good. And now Lewis with the shot. He misses, and a whistle.
Boy, Huron is really small looking out on the court right now.
Bugs picks up the foul. His third. And that'll put Ypsi in the double bonus.
You know, Bugs at 6'1 is probably their tallest player for the River Rats right now.
Davis's first free throw is off the back of the rim, no good.
Sorry about that. For the now here we come looking at Mike Lewis and Bond coming back in the game. Pete, it was almost like the guards against the forwards. And you saw it on that last play where Ypsilanti, they had no problem just throwing the ball up. Okay, my turn, I'll grab it. Your turn, I'll grab it.
They have a huge advantage in offensive rebounds in this game. Next one on the way is good. Oh, 5-point advantage for the Phoenix. 5:57 to play here in the fourth and final quarter. Hope you're enjoying all the action here on City TV Sports. I'm Pete Poirier along with Kevin Bryant with all the action. There's a three from the corner, is good. Yante Jackson with for three. And that closes the Phoenix lead down to 2. And here Huron running the press once again. Simmons with the jumper. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Kendall Thomas.
Good
pass. Down the floor. Shot up and in by Alan Thomas. And we have a tie game. The River Rats all the way back from 19 down, and they've tied the game with 5:15 to play in the game. Another steal, this time by Mike Lewis. Spin move by Kendall Thomas.
This is going to be a big call here.
And it's traveling. Thomas trying to spin, he shuffled his feet.
Thomas is looks like he had he's tying up his shoes there. Probably what caused him to get this travel call here if we take a look at it real quick. And he really just lost control of himself.
That might have been a point at which one of the Ypsi players stepped on a shoelace.
It could have been.
That's why it's untied as he was trying to spin, but he was out of control. Should have pulled that ball back out and ran the offense a little bit. Wait for his teammates.
Rats are looking for the first.
Double dribble on Ypsi.
On most nights, that's a double dribble.
Jobert called for it. It'll be Huron basketball.
Wow. Look at the crowd there. They can't believe it either. Great for the student section before, break to have such a game with this type of energy. And everybody's into it, Pete. I mean, it's not just the players on the floor. The crowd's into it. The parents are into it. Last 5 minutes are going to be fun here.
Should be nothing excitement for the last 5 minutes of this game. Possession arrow in favor of the Phoenix.
River Rats are still looking for their first lead of the night, so.
Well, they've come all the way back from 19 down. They were able to give some of their better players, Lewis, a little bit longer of a rest on the bench. And I don't think any of those guys are coming out unless it's for foul trouble.
And that's what I was going to say. Who's going to get that fifth foul? We already had one player disqualified from the game because of violations, and a couple other players with 4 fouls. Kendall Thomas being the one that the Huron River Rats cannot afford to lose.
Absolutely.
as well as Mike Lewis.
Like I said, they can get that third score heated up, and if that's Alan Thomas, who hit the shot to tie the game, if they can get him going, be the third scoring threat, Ypsilanti's going to have a chance for.
And last year, Coach Steve Brooks was saying that his team was out tough mentally and physically when playing against the River Rats. We're kind of seeing a little bit of that right now.
No Thomas on the floor, and it's a jump ball.
Wow. I thought I counted about 4 violations right there myself.
Back into the Phoenix, number 21, no ball.
So with the possession favoring the Phoenix, it'll be their ball.
You know, we were talking about how Thomas needed a little bit of a break. Last 2 possessions, he's had turnovers. Maybe they want to sit him down for just a quick breather.
I got him trapped out by the timeline. And another jump ball. They tied him up. Kendall Thomas. Oh, possession goes back to the River Rats. And these fans are liking that.
Thomas is definitely the River Rats leader tonight. He stepped up on the offensive and now the defensive end for his team.
Oh, Lewis will inbound right in front of the scorer's table. Bond will come out to get it.
There he is.
Now back to Thomas, over to Lewis. In the corner to off the front of the rim, no good by Alan Thomas. His threes have just not fallen tonight. There's a 3 for Ypsi, off the rim, no good.
Oh, no. That might be number 5. Let's check this.
It is on Kendall Thomas.
That last foul on number 3, Kendall Thomas, his 4th.
That's his 4th foul.
Oh, correction. They did take one back from him when they called. I thought they had called one on him earlier.
Devontae Davis. Huron takes a full timeout.
You know, as Thomas walks to the bench, he looks a little bit winded.
Make sure you go to Ann Arbor's website and check out the schedule.
53-53, 4 minutes left, Pete. This is everything that everyone thought this game was going to be.
It's just a little puzzling as to how we got here.
It really was. At the beginning, if you came in the first quarter and you went out for a sandwich, folks, it is the same game.
We're all tied at 53, 4:17 left.
Don't you get the feeling, Pete, at least I do, as far as like the Phoenix are hanging on and the River Rats are chipped away, but the Phoenix, it seems like they called the bus driver, warm it up, we want to get out of here, as opposed to really trying to win the game. They're trying to hang on to win the game, as far as they're not forcing any type of action right now.
Yeah, they're, as they say, trying not to lose.
That's it.
Need to go back to that style I played earlier on in the first half. And that may confuse Huron a little bit, like it did at the beginning of the game.
Well, they had a lot of confidence in the first half, in the first quarter as well, behind the arc. And it seemed like after Huron started to come back, anytime you've played a team the last couple years and they've beat you and they have your number, it starts to creep in your head. Uh-oh.
Here we go again.
Yeah. And then you lose your composure out here on the middle of the court.
Oh, Davis will head to the line, shooting 2. Ypsi in the double bonus. First one is up and good.
Davis is a real fine player for a junior, 6'7".
Both teams have really impressed me with their free throw shooting. First one off the front of the rim. It's my turn to jinx him.
I was going to get you there.
Now picked up off the floor by Deontay Jackson. He tries to drive and scores off the backboard. Scored that over the 6'7" Davis. And guess who has their first lead of the night? It's Huron with a 55-54 advantage. Now Bob backing into the lane. He takes a shot, no good. He gets it back under the hoop and he puts it up and in.
When the Phoenix are patient, they can do that all night long.
Oh, Lewis with it for Huron. Looking to drive. He'll pass it back to Jackson. Excuse me, Thomas rather. His shot is no good.
And Thomas kind of rushed that shot there.
Cross court. Jobert will corral it. And over aggressive defense. Looks like Yante Jackson's going to pick up a foul.
Allison, the Phoenix.
Oh, no foul, just out of bounds apparently. Well, Ypsilanti will keep possession of the basketball. Oh, Ba over to Richardson. Richardson driving the baseline. And we have a whistle.
Richardson has a cat-quick first step, boy. That long wingspan. With that long wingspan, I mean, he's one dribble away from putting the ball right up on the rim.
Is number 5, Derek Richardson.
Richardson's first one is in and out, no good.
What happened to that Phoenix shooting touch from the line?
Next one is nothing but net. Oh, Ypsilanti with a 2-point advantage. 3 minutes to play in the game. Looked like Bond lost control of the ball. Caught by Davis, and he just lost the handle and flipped it out of bounds. Oh, Huron will keep possession.
Real fortunate for the River Rats there that they get possession of that ball.
Well, Bond will take it on the inbounds. Back to Lewis. Lewis back to Thomas for 3. In and out, no good. And Alan Thomas just not having the shooting touch tonight. Jobert to Bob, back down low to Simmons. Simmons with the baseline drive and lays it up and lays it in.
Explosive move there by Simmons.
Now Lewis looking to drive. Puts a wild shot up. Misses everything. Picked up off the floor by Jobert. Now Simmons with the drive. Looked like Simmons had his eye on putting it through. Mike Lewis said, not in my house.
And he got off the floor really quick there, but unfortunate for the River Rats, that might send Mr. Lewis to the showers.
And indeed it will. That's Mike Lewis's 5th. That's Huron's 2nd foul out of the game.
He's not only one of their top scorers, he's their top rebounder. They're going to lose some size by going to the bench when Lewis goes out of the game here.
Bugs will come in for Lewis.
Lewis ends up with 11 points on the night. Simmons, the top scorer in the area last year. He was held in check, but you can't keep good scores like that down all night. They just find the rim somehow.
First free throw rolls off the rim, no good. Next one is on its way, and it's good. Well, Ypsi back out to a 5-point advantage. 2:10 left to play.
You know, coming back from such a deficit has really maybe zapped some of the energy out of the Rats. It had to.
Well, end of possession critical now. Under 2 minutes to play.
And this is when Lewis goes out of the game. Who's going to help out Thomas on the scoring end?
Errant shot by Alan Thomas, no good. Never even got above the rim. Easy rebound for Ypsi. Now Simmons over to Richardson. Back out top to Jobert. Now they'll just work the passes. Near steal. Ba with the shot. Up and good.
His size has just been too much for the River Rats tonight. Mo Ba has been very good from 10 feet in.
Now Thomas gets it to Jackson. Jackson puts up the jumper, and it's good.
We call that a 2 or a 3.
That's just the 2.
Huron 2-point basket by number 1, Andre Mann. Huron takes a 30-second timeout.
Huron will take a 30-second timeout.
Good after the timeout for Huron number 5, Cameron Haywood.
Just a minute, 3 left on the clock, Pete. I mean, Huron needs some quick turnovers and buckets to come away with an opening night victory.
Well, you know, really, I think what may happen is Huron is going to try and aggressively defend. If they pick up any fouls, Ypsi's heading right to the free throw line. And if they can hit them, that's going to seal it for the Phoenix.
And that's the thing. You don't know who you want to put on the line because the big guy, Ba, has been making free throws as well as Simmons. I mean, all of them seem efficient at the foul line.
Yeah, they haven't had too many problems at the free throw line. They've been very good with their free throws.
But time is not a friend for the Riverettes right now. If you don't get the turnover, make it a free throw shooting game. You never know. Stretch it out.
Yeah, let's see with an easy break of the press. Drive by Jobert is no good. Follow up by Ba is good. And that'll put the Phoenix up by 7. .45 seconds to play. Bond with it for Huron. He's going to shoot up the long three-pointer. That misses everything. Simmons down the floor. And an easy layup for Tristan Simmons. Now the advantage is 9 for Ypsi. And on the errant drive.
And it looks
it's going to be Ypsi ball.
Rats are just running out of gas and time, Pete. Valiant effort, though. I mean, to be down by that many and to come back and to make it a game in the fourth quarter, that's something that Coach Samaha, that's why you schedule these games early in the year. You want to see what kind of, how your team will respond to adversity.
Well, and you make sure that all these games are learning experiences, something that they can apply later on in the season.
And it was very impressive for the Riverettes as far as the rebounding effort, because if you look at the sheet, they shouldn't have been in this game as far as making it a rebounding contest at all. But when Lewis was out there, you know, it wasn't that bad.
Good effort. We'll just rag the rest of the time off the clock, and that's going to do it. And Ypsilanti comes into the Riverdome with a 66-57 victory over the Huron Riverettes. We're going to take a quick break and come back with an interview with the winning coach right here on City TV Sports.
Ward Talk. Ann Arbor City Council members, take your phone calls live. It's the third Wednesday of each month, only on Channel 19 City TV.
Hi, I'm Dana Denha, and tune into City TV to find out what's happening in our community.
And welcome back to City TV. I'm joined now with the winning coach from Ypsilanti, Coach Brooks. 19-point first half lead for you guys and hung on at the end. You had a couple timeouts there. What were you telling your players?
Well, we knew, first of all, that Huron, they 19 points early like that, they were going to fight back. They're at home. They're a prideful program. And so we just kind of told our guys, hey, man, it's not over. The very last timeout, we kind of just like addressed body language. Hey, man, you guys are we just got the wrong kind of body language right now, you know. And so, hey, the game's not over. You know, you had a lead. They made a run. Let's win the game.
It seems like they learned from the opening night loss to UD Jesuit.
Actually, that was the second game.
Second game, I'm sorry. But can you tell us a little bit what they worked on, your guys worked on in practice to prepare for such a hostile environment like tonight?
You know, we have just really got to understand, we've got some guys that have great motors. And so a lot of times, man, in defense of the kids, we always preach pressure D, and sometimes pressure D gets your adrenaline going really fast, that when you get the ball on the offensive end, a lot of times you don't know how to get under control and slow it down. You know, so it's really hard for a 16, 15, 17-year-old kid to like turn the switch on and off like that. Once we understand tempo, we'll be a pretty hard team to beat.
Well, scheduling like you've been scheduling prepares your guys for the final run of the postseason, and I know that's part of why you do that, correct?
Yes, yes. Last year the SEC, we had actually 17 league games, so we couldn't schedule as such. I normally schedule like that regardless of what kind of team I've got, you know, but now with us able to only have 2 crossover games within the SEC, it was allowing us to pick up 4 more. So that's why we were able to do the schedule like that. We've got a real great Christmas tournament, the 27th through the 30th at Ypsi, where we got John Glenn and Detroit Southeastern, who was in Southeastern was in the Breslin last year in the championship game after we played Saginaw on Thursday. So it's going to be great. We're up in Saginaw Thursday night. So.
And finally, your player of the night had to be Mamadou Ba. He was down low. He was unstoppable, really.
No question, man. That's a kid who has really matured. You know, he's becoming a dominant player. You know, just no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, he's had like 2 broken wrists. That's why a lot of times, and he's really got small hands also. And so a lot of times that's why you see the funny rotation on the longer shots, you know. But if he stays inside, man, he's got just unbelievable skills around the basket.
Well, congratulations on a good win, Coach, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
And thanks, Kevin and Coach Brooks. I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Greg McDonald. Audio and replay by Rob Cross and Slim Jim McKinley. Computer graphics by Paul Sutherland. Our camera guys, Nick McCauley, Patrick Holovic, and Mike Dermody. And for Kevin Bryant, this is Pete Poyer. Once again, the final from the Riverdome, Ypsilanti 66 and Huron 57.